Hi everybody, James Helms for OneandOne.com, and going to give you the final review of the Mutewatch. Now, when we first took a look at this watch, we actually had the red model, and we just got in a gray model to take a look at too, which is pretty cool because it actually, the LEDs on this look a little bit different when they shine through the gray silicone as to the red. I like this color a little bit better than the red one because it goes with a little bit more. But let's talk about some of the usability features of the watch, and number one is how you wear it. So when you wear this watch, it's a little bit different, and you'll have to get used to it a little bit, but the button's really nice. When you flip it over, the time will turn on, but if you usually read a watch like this, it's going to be a little bit vertical for you, so you're going to have to get used to that. But if you wear it on the bottom of your wrist, it's very easy to read. So what's nice about this watch as a whole is it's very comfortable to wear. There's really no seams on it. If you wear it to bed, it's not something that's going to catch on anything because it is all one flowing piece. So they've done a really good job on that. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that this is a 24-hour watch and you don't have an option to change that to 12-hour. Not a big deal for some people, but for people like me who are used to 12-hour watches on digital, it's a little bit tough to get used to. Hopefully they'll add a feature in the future that will change from 12 to 24-hour. They've said that they're going to change firmware quite a bit here. They haven't come out with one yet, but they're working on their first one, I've heard. So that's something that you'll have to keep in mind, not a huge deal. But let's take a look at one of the cool features on this, and that's the timer feature. So when you call up the timer feature, call it back up again, you set it by touching the top and bottom. So we're just going to set up only a few seconds here, and this is a really neat feature if you have a slideshow presentation or something like that and you don't want anybody else in the room to know that your timer's gone off. Now, you can probably hear it a little bit, but this is vibrating. Remember, this has no audible alerts, and what you do to turn it off is you hit these three little buttons and that turns it off. So you can actually set that timer, that little infinity button at the bottom, to go over and over again. So it'll go every 30 seconds, it'll go every 5 minutes, it'll go every 30 minutes, depending on what you set it. So it's a really nice little feature as far as it takes a little bit farther than an alarm, but you also have an alarm feature. You have two different alarms, and then you can actually set the vibrate feature. So you go into the mode here, and you can set a short vibrate or a long vibrate if you want a longer one for when you're waking up or something like that, if you wanted to wear it on your wrist at night. Very easy to use. Now, the other neat little feature that they've put in this, which is very forward thinking, is the actual the brightness of the screen. So what happens is we're in a pretty high light situation right now, and you can see that the LEDs are very easy to read. If I walked into a low light situation, it would actually dim itself. So it has an ambient light sensor in here, which is really nice, and it does have a motion sensor in it too. So when you flick your wrist, put it back on here. So when I turn it, you can see as soon as I flick my wrist, it turns on. So they've put a lot of cool design features in this whole watch, and it's really something that is totally different, forward thinking, and I think as they change the firmware, we're going to see even more cool features out of this watch. So we've tried the red one, we like that. We've tried the gray one as well. The white one may be get a little bit dirty, but it's a really cool color as well. And then the other thing that you get with this is the actual the charge port, and that's something you may have to get used to as well. You do have to charge this watch, but if you're used to charging your phone every day, this won't be so bad. This will actually last a week, no problem. So overall, Mutewatch, great watch, forward thinking. I think it's going to be something that's going to continually be upgraded. I'm really excited to see more from Mutewatch. And make sure to check out the full text review on OneandOne.com and let us know what you think in the comments, as well as Twitter or Facebook. Thanks.